What's the right age for retirement? 55, 65, 75? Social Security and maybe the company you work for will tell us the age we can begin drawing out funds. But the real question is, can we afford to retire? Jim Lineweaver, who's never shy of retiring when it comes to sharing his expertise, is here to help us find an answer. Jim's a certified financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
My pleasure.
So, Jim, step one, you have a number of steps, 4 questions to ask. We need answers to determine if we can afford to retire.
Right.
Step
First one is just a budget. What am I spending on a monthly basis? And this is where people are like, oh, you got to make me come up with a budget. Even you don't want it to be tedious, but just look at the last 6 months of expenses. Not only your fixed expenses, your utility bills and electric and everything, but gas, and put some entertainment and travel in there. You want to have fun when you're in retirement, so build it into your budget.
And health insurance costs and all the things that are going to be coming up.
Exactly.
All right. Second question to ask.
The second one is, what income am I going to have coming in? I might have Social Security coming in, and maybe I have a pension. So those are your fixed costs that will be coming in on a monthly basis. And then you're going to have to figure out, from the investment side, how much you may need to supplement some things, and that's actually the next step.
All right. I think we have a step 3, which puts the things together, and I think you're going to walk us through that a little bit.
We actually have an example for your viewers.
That's very helpful.
It's usually the best thing to do.
Okay.
So what we did is we looked at a couple people that actually, with Joe and Mary, that actually have living expenses somewhere around $4,000 a month. And what they do is, with Social Security coming in at about $2,200, pension coming in at $1,000, they're obviously coming in about $800 short. Sam and Alice, on the other hand, have $8,000, spending a lot more money on a monthly basis, $2,200 a month coming in from Social Security or 0 pension, so they're falling short $6,800 a month. That's quite a bit to make up.
All right, so you do step 3, you determine, you take your income, your costs, you see where you stand, and you see if there's a plus or a minus. In your example, there was a minus in both cases.
Exactly.
All right. What's step 4?
The next one is, if you do have a shortfall there, how is it going to be made up? You got to look at your investments, your CDs, your retirement plans, all these things that you've invested into over your lifetime. You're now going to have to start turning that switch on to get an income.
So you'll have to make up that deficit from your assets.
Exactly.
All right.
And not to get into too much confusion with your viewers, what we did is we came up with an example as well with the same couple. And what we did is, Joe and Mary have $250,000 in assets set aside. They need that $800 a month. We're not going to talk about rates of return in this example, but if you just divide the $800 by the $250,000, they have about 312 months to live on, or 26 years. On the other hand, Sam and Alice, more set aside because they don't have that pension, $600,000, but they're taking out $6,800 a month. Even sounds like a big number,
right,
for the $600,000 set aside, but at 88 months, it's only going to last them about 7 years. They're going to run into a problem.
So the one thing that's not considered there is, when you said rate of return, that means your interest, your dividends, your investment benefits.
Yeah, and that's a delicate balance, because putting in a savings account making less than 1% isn't going to do it, but risking it in the stock market may not be the solution either. So you got to really make sure you put a good plan together.
You made it look simple in the example. It's really not so simple.
It's not.
And because it's not so simple, you're going to provide more information to people through some seminars.
Yeah, we're going to go through a lot more detail at our education programs in Valley View. It's on Tuesday, March 14th at 1 o'clock, also Thursday, May 16th at 6:30. We're already getting some good attendance on this, so I'd encourage your viewers to call in quickly.
And I understand that you've got actually budget worksheets that people will be able to work through and determine their income, determine their expenses, and determine what they need to do and where they need to get the money
Exactly.
from.
We're going to have a lot of resources for people at these education programs.
That's great. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it very much.
My pleasure.
All right, Jim's 4 questions hold the answers to your retirement plans. To find out more, you have to go to one of Jim's free seminars, or you can give him a call. You can get his free budget worksheets, work through them. He'll help you out. The number's coming up next.
Find out more by calling the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net.